Finally, we as neighbors, I believe, need to embrace a more diverse housing stock and put a stop to some of the NIMBYism that leads to higher costs for developers and in some cases can stop a development altogether. To improve this, I believe that our city can revise the appeals process that is currently being used so that market rate and affordable developments will not continue to be held hostage by the neighborhoods that they're built in.
Laura mentioned parking. We are working on trying to reduce the number of parking slots that apartments need in certain areas. And I should mention that we want to incentivize the type of multifamily housing that is along transportation corridors so that people who are spending a third of their income on rent aren't also spending a ton of money on transportation. We want to support people at all levels. And so trying to incentivize this kind of building along transportation corridors, employment areas, downtown is a key for us, and trying to reduce the number of parking slots that they have, working on donated land, where we try to work with public-private partnerships. I have trouble with that phrase. With organizations like Grescio, but not just Grescio, to help offset the cost of development. Land is a huge cost of building a project. And so trying to find those areas of where we can find those donations, any type of incentive that can help reduce the cost of a development. We really are working at that at the city. And she mentioned the appeals process, we're working on that too. I think we have to remember that any time we try to force the developer to pay into a fund to build certain types of projects, someone else is going to pay for it. They're not going to pay for it. The other person buying the house or the other property is going to pay more for that. So somebody's already paying, and we have to decide as a community, how do we collectively want to pay more to provide affordable housing? And it should be shared. It shouldn't be just owned by those folks who then buy into that apartment property where 10% of the units are set aside for affordable housing. We should all share that burden, whether it's through a tax. I don't know. We can do things as a city to incentivize. We have urban renewal processes right now. When we approve a developer to come in and use urban renewal, which is a current tool, we could ask them to use part of that additional sales tax that they're receiving for those projects to build affordable housing. I could support that. That would be a good maybe tool. Don't you think, Peter?
I have a question before, as you continue on, and I want to jump. This is just going to be my informal poll. Ready? I love informal polls. Not scientific, not the real deal. Councilmember Gabler was talking about how we all have to buy in. I want you to raise your hand. Would you be okay with a 1 cent extra tax to be able to deal with this affordable housing? Raise your hand, yes. Okay. Now, who would not, and don't worry if you want to do this, it's totally fine. We're not showing this on our Gazette News Facebook platform. Who does not want to pay that extra cent? And it's totally fine. Okay? I just wanted to, this is an informal poll, not scientific, not anything.
You know, when someone needs a car dealerships don't have to give away a free car because they're making money on 2 or 3 other cars. And so, by the same token, I don't think that the multifamily or the development community should be the only ones taking the hit on something that I think is a community-wide issue.
We're maturing as a city, and we have some great opportunities before us, and affordable housing, I believe, is one of those opportunities. I'm a fan, I'm a supporter of as we commonly use it in our business, carrot versus a stick. I think you hear a very common theme here, that the best approach is through partnership, is through incentives, and there could be a number of different levels of incentives. There could be direct financial incentives, indirect financial incentives, supporting projects through allocating HUD grants. But really, it comes down to our willingness to really tackle this issue. I think the time is right that we've discussed this topic. I've been here with the city for 5 years, and it's certainly been on the forefront for the last 5 years. I think everybody is anxious to get things done, get things implemented, and we should offer as many tools as possible, look at opportunities, not shy away from difficult decisions, and really entice local developers and non-local developers to come to our community to build affordable housing at all income levels.
there will be an affordable housing project that comes to your neighborhood. They'll come to all of our neighborhoods. And so I think it's important for all of us to at least try to be open-minded and remember that we are all in this together. We are one community of many amazing neighborhoods that are the building blocks of our great city. And we are all in this together, and we need to work together to solve this problem and our homelessness problem.